Hope you're doing well. I had a very eventful weekend. I lost 6 adult chickens, so I might have to go get some new ones. Right now, there's only 2 left, and yeah. Anyways, we'll discuss that in a future tutorial or video. Okay, as I said, so the purpose of this video is I'm going to show you how to use the Barcode Detector API. So this is a very simple way to decode barcodes using a web browser. So unfortunately, it seems that this detection API, it's not available everywhere. What I mean by that is, for example, there's no major desktop manufacturer who actually has this built in. So you need to, I've read somewhere that I think Chrome on Mac OS actually has it's built in there, but for everybody else, like for example, if you're on Linux or Windows, it's not. The fortunate thing is on mobile, it is available. So if I think most people will actually be using their mobile devices to use as a scanner or a barcode scanner anyway, so that's a good thing. However, good news, I will show you how to use a polyfill and I'll explain what a polyfill is. So it actually works extremely well on your desktop as well for testing. For example, maybe you have like an old type of mobile phone that maybe runs Linux now or something, or it doesn't matter, it could run Windows or whatever operating system. So you'll be able to use this polyfill. It's just a JavaScript one and works very well. Just also because of it's based on browser support. So fortunately, the browser supports at least 3 different types of barcodes. So I'll show you some ways in where you can maybe you can have a way to show whoever is going to use the software what barcodes are actually are supported. So fortunately, it's the most popular ones. For example, like the QR code, the UPC code, or I think in Europe it's called EAN. So those are type of so you should be covered for the most frequently used or most popular barcodes. So there are 2 types of barcodes as of 2025. There's a 1D barcode. That's why that one is just a very simple linear sequence with a vertical line bars and spaces of varying widths to encode data. So that you guys have probably seen this several times. This is basically the usual UPC code. It's just usually when you order something, a box arrives, you will see those type of UPC codes. So that's 1D. That is still very popular, especially for shipping. It usually has really limited information. The reason is because the number of characters that can be stored in 1D there's a limit there. So that's why you'll notice sometimes when you order something, you'll see so many barcodes. That's now you understand why. You learned something. So then there's the 2D barcodes. So the 2D barcodes, this is where you get things like the QR code. So these ones are obviously 2-dimensional. So you can see what here, what a one dimension and 2-dimension, and the glossary. We'll explain that later. So for example, QR codes, they also are matrix barcodes. If you're as old as I am, you might remember back in the 80s when dot matrix printers were popular. Dot dot dot. That's basically the matrix. That's what that is. Another popular one is the Aztec. That is slightly different but it's similar to the QR code. So the good thing about these 2D ones is that you can store much more information. So the purpose of today's tutorial is we're going to use the Barcode Detection API. This is a browser native API designed to detect and decode barcodes in real time using a device's camera or video input. So you can also obviously use this to maybe get a file to be uploaded or as well. So that's another trick you can do if you want to do it manually. So you can pretend it's like a video, because a video is really just a bunch of moving pictures. So that's one way you can do it. Officially, it's for video, but as I said, or video input, but I said you can obviously use a picture. Think of a picture as a video with 1 second, right? Or one frame. Okay, so as I already explained this. It's actually available for most major web browsers for Android, so that's great. But I said don't worry about it. I have a polyfill. So what is a polyfill? A polyfill implements a new standard that is not natively supported. So for example, in this case, this is a standard. It's supposed to be it's called the Barcode Detection API. So that's a standard, but as I said, it's not available in many browsers, especially on the desktop. So you need a polyfill, which will it's usually JavaScript in our case, and it implement it for us. So as I explained before, you have the 1D and 2D types of barcodes. And you can see, so the 1D barcode, it only holds up to 85 characters. You can see why that's limiting. The 2D barcodes, they can hold up to just over 7,000 characters. So you can have way more information. For example, like you can have like a long website or website page, specific page. So that might, well, technically I think it would fit into the 1D barcode, but you get my point. So for example, the 1D barcode I said for, that's a UPC or EAN in Europe. So an example of the 2D barcode is a QR code, Aztec code, data matrix, and GS1 composite. So we'll talk about this later in future tutorials, why that's important. So one of the use cases for barcodes is, as I said, I explained why for shipping, but you can also use it, for example, if you're a real estate agent and you want people to contact you, you can just have your website or your phone number or something as a QR code, especially that would be an easy way for people to contact you. So you can imagine if you meet someone and you get out your phone, you only have your phones, or you have to grab a piece of paper and write down a whole bunch of information. If you just have a QR code, especially if it's like a website or a phone number, you can just show them that and that's it. So you no longer need to carry a business card. You can just have your phone and they can just scan. Think of it as a NFC. Okay, so these are the devices, the scanning devices that I use. You notice here I didn't put the iPhone. That's because I didn't have time to charge it up, but in future tutorials I'll try to add the iPhone here as well. It's an iPhone SE, the first generation. So here I have the Xperia X1 Ultra, that's the first generation, and the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE 5G, that's actually my daily driver. And this is my webcam, it's an HTC 525. So obviously only the Android devices here with the Chrome browser, they would have the native barcode detection API, but this webcam doesn't, because that's hooked up to the desktop. So as you can see here, what we need to do first is, for this tutorial, we're going to create some QR codes from scratch. We're going to use this lib encode. I created a separate video for that one. And then obviously if you, because we need permission to use the camera, so you need to have HTTPS or secure access. However, you can get away using localhost. So there's a couple ways you can do that. You can, for example, if you're on an Android, if you have an Android device, you can use the Android bridge. Or, as I said, because all I care about is the camera, I'll use Sterno and PHP built-in web server. But you can use any web servers you want as long as it has a certificate. There's also videos, I think 3 videos ago, I also showed you a separate video how to create OpenSSL for Android Studio, so you can follow that. You can watch that video as well. So this is the HTML code, and this is the JavaScript code with the optional polyfill. So there's a lot to learn today. So if you do want to see, because I do have a live stream every single day. So all you do is you go to jumbo.com, you go to under watch menu live, and you can see the upcoming live streams, including the estimated date and time. And obviously this one is current right now, so the top one now would most likely be, like, for example, this is the one we're doing right now. The channels are also there to tell you, for example, see, this is on YouTube and the other one's on Odyssey. Okay, so, and also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, so what we need here is, I've already created videos to explaining how Sterno works. Sterno is just a turning service, and PHP is just a scripting language. It has a built-in web server. That's why I use it as well. So this way you don't have to download too many things like setup. You can also use Node.js. I've also created a video for that. All right, so enough. Let's get started. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you. So I have a I created a folder here called barcode-detect. So I'm going to put everything in here. So I'm just going to open up a terminal, and then we're going to create I'm going to create some files manually. I do have a video coming up tomorrow, which will show you how to use a GUI to create QR codes and other type of barcodes. But in this tutorial, I just want something quickly, so we're going to use the one. So that's QR. Oh, let me zoom in here. So encode. Yeah, encode. There we go. So I just need one with. I'll just use the default. That's enough. So called QR code 1, come on, QR code 1 dot png https jumbo.com. Let me make this a little bit longer. Okay, there we go. So you see it created the QR code there, and you see it's a true QR code. So this is what we're going to be scanning. I just use the default. And then another one, so that's, as I said, this is not a tutorial on creating QR codes, but I do need some QR codes just to show you how to read them. So I'm going to also create another QR code. This one is going to be much longer. This is going to be the V card. So the V card, you see, just begin V card, and the end there. Okay, this didn't come out well because I zoomed in, so I'll open up in a text editor here, so you can see. Yeah. So basically, for a V card, you have a begin V card and end V card, and then you have, say, the version number, then the full name, and then the name, last name, and first name. And then you have the email, type home, and internet, then the email address, and then the URL, and that's it. So that's a V card. So then what I need to do is I'm just going to create a QR code for that. Oh, this is actually wrong. So that's our V card. Yeah, so it's going to create another one there. vcard.vcf. Yeah, you see it created another QR code. You can already tell the differences. You see this one has way more information because this is the V card, and this one is smaller. This only contains the URL. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some files because we need to be able to. Let me actually grab this and take it out of the way here, so it never goes in the way. So what we're going to do next is, before I start the PHP server, I'm going to create, I think I'll create an index file here. So I'll just touch index.html. And I think I'll do everything inside the JavaScript. So that's all I need. So now you can just open up in whatever text editor you want. So in my particular case, and I can actually start the PHP server, which I will right now. So I'll go ccd android. Okay, and then sterno config, and PHP S192.168.1.22. Put it on port 8000, and then the path I want it to be. So UPC barcode, and I forgot the name I called. I think it was called barcode detect. There we go. So the PHP built-in server has started, and we have the port number, which will be 8443. Okay. So next, I need to, I just need to open up a, second, I need to go back to, where was I? UPC, barcode detect, yes. I just need to start a, I don't know what, okay, I think I'll use NetBeans here. I'll use NetBeans, and I'll drag, NetBeans is taking its sweet time, so what I can do is simply just, just drag this index file here. Oh, this is no longer needed, so I'll zoom in. That's Alt, I think. Yeah, everybody likes using different, so let's put the doc type, HTML. Let me see how much time, how long has this thing been going on? Okay, 60 minutes, so that's fantastic. Okay. Then the HTML. Then we need a head section. We don't actually need one, but it's good practice. So give it a title. So I'll call it barcode reader. So for there, we only care about the meta name equals viewport. I'll just copy this part here. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Wow. Alright, so then we'll create a body. Okay, in the body here, I'll just create some variables. This is just for output. They're not really needed, but they're just for output. Okay, and what we need is our video. And muted, plays inline. You need this for iOS devices. Okay, and then we can create our script. Did I spell that wrong? No, okay, script. So, get started here in the script part. So I'll make this start automatically. Okay, so what I need is, I need to get the stream variable. D equals now. And now some people set this number to 500. This is the interval. So 1000 is 1 second. That worked extremely well. Before I tried 500, it was a little bit wonky, especially, I don't know if it was a polyfill, so you can play around with that, but I got very good results using 1 second. So this stands for 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. So document.query selector and the video. and then we'll just duplicate this. This will be, which, I mean, we have the B, we have the I, and we have the EM. So change this to B, I, and EM. Okay, so for our constraints, instead of putting a size or anything like that, we don't actually need that. We just, because these images are going to be very, very small. They're meant to be small. They're not meant to be large. So even a low res like SD standard definition would work. For example, my webcam on the desktop, it's it's 1280 by 720, it's just an HD, and that works extremely well. So ideal, we want the environment. That means the back-facing camera, because that would be easier for everybody. And we don't need audio, so we'll say false. Okay, so that's fine here. Why is this giving me, did I make a mistake? CTS, video. No, I didn't make a mistake. I don't know why it's giving me, I don't know why, yeah, sometimes it's just weird. Let me actually see what it's saying here. Unexpected identifier. Okay. Oh, comma. It's crazy. All right. So then, as I said, there are several different formats. I'll go through some of the most popular ones. You can go to the MDN, that's the Mozilla Development Network. And I'm going to list some of them here. So I can leave it as a default, but so just say format. It's an array. So we have, as I said, we have the Aztec. Then we have the code. Actually, let me pull up the. I'll pull up the website so you can go check this out. So MDN barcode detection. Hopefully they have them. Yeah, here we go. So I'll show you this briefly. This is on the Mozilla MDN web docs. So you can see this. See the Aztec. This, I'm sure you've seen this before. Aztec. This is code 128. It's 1D. Code 39. It's also 1D. So that's see just the vertical lines only. That's usually 1D. You see code 93. The code bar. That's also 1 dimension. Data matrix. This is 2-dimensional. The EN. This based on UPC. So those are European ones. This one and ITF, that's obviously, you can guess that's also 1-dimensional. Now this one, the PDF 417, is 2-dimensional. You can tell because it's not straight up vertical lines. And the QR codes, that's very popular. That's this most popular one. UPC-A, that's obviously 1-dimensional. UPC-E, and then everything else will be unknown. So there's 13 of them. You count from the Aztec to UPC _E. So as this is what they all look like. So the ones which generated today were just QR codes. That's why they look like this. So if you want to detect all of them, that's all up to you. Just by the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to limit it to a very few. Only. So the other one I'm going to care about is going to be QR code. Okay, so that I only care about this two. But if, as I said, if you want more, you can just add how many formats you want. Now, so that part's done. So we need the camera. So it's navigator dot media devices dot get user media. Then immediately we put in our constraints here. Remember the video constraints where the audio is set to false. Then we get the stream. Okay, then we start our string parameter to the stream. This will allow us to stop the stream, and the source object set to stream, and then we play the video. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I think you guys can see. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a function which will actually do the decoding part. So I'll say let dec equals so inside here we're gonna try, so we're gonna have a barcode detector dot get supported formats. Then so this is a promise. I might have to zoom out of here. It's so hard. Okay, there we go. You can see what I'm doing. So what we do is I'm gonna create a variable here. It's an array just to get all the supported formats. So I said you might want to do something with this. So for each you may want to do something with them. Maybe you want to show, maybe your application, you want to show the people that what formats are supported and what are not. So you might want to put this inside maybe a drop down or something like that. Not a drop down, but visually you want to do something to them. I'm not going to style that. I'm just going to output everything. So I'll just push them. So that's it. Then, so this is one way. You see the formats here. I only chose 2 of them. So what I'm going to do is whatever is supported, I'm just going to push it into my object here. Equals keep. Okay. Then I'm going to output them as well in a HTML equals JSON, because remember it's going to be an object. So JSON, I'll stringify it, and fmt.formats. Next, I'll create a detection object. So it's going to be barcode detector, the format, or the formats. Then this is, remember, our interval. So this is where we set our interval. Set interval. Okay, so what do we do here? So we do the detect first. And the source obviously will be the video. And then I dislike when it does that. Okay. So now, because we're going to set it to every we set it to every 1 minute. No, 1 second. So we don't want to be just outputting things for no reason. Or just a second, I have a call. Hey Mark, I'm in a live stream. Can I call you back? Okay, no problem. I'll call you right back in about half an hour or so. I told everybody I'm doing a live stream at this time, and the funny thing is they call me. Stringify. Yes. Is not equal to. So that means that if it's not empty, then we do something because remember it's going to be doing this the detect. This should be detect. Spelling mistake, detect. So it's continuous. It's continuous. So we don't want it to grab something and then stop. So we want to keep it continuous because sometimes people move. So I'm emptying out this variable here. I mean the contents. And for each so BC is actually the data that's been detected. So what I do then is I just get the inner HTML, the EM, the emphasis, and I set that to bc.raw value. Then I set the B inner HTML. I'll set it to the JSON stringify BC. I'll also output it to the console. This way you'll be able to understand it a little bit more as well. Okay. Now that we're here, this one, the then, I believe. Then, yes. Now we need to create a catch. I really dislike when it does that. We'll just output to the console if there's a problem. Error, error. And then we are done here. Come on. Where's the mouse? Okay, there we go. And then after that, we go here. This is our interval. So we say to bit. We can just hard code it here, but it's better to put in a variable. That way we can always change it later. So this is fine. And this is our try catch. So it'll be error. And then we just console dot error, and error occurred. As I spell occurred, I'm not even sure. Error. Okay. Okay, now we're going to create another variable called lmd. So this is going to check to see if we need to load a polyfill. So I'll just copy this because I'm 100% sure I'll most likely make a mistake here. Probably guaranteed to make a mistake here. I'll just copy this part and I'll just explain it. So what I'm doing here is I am creating a variable called barcode detector polyfill. I'm making it as an object and I'm using await. I'm importing it from CDN, which is Fastly, on Fastly. And I'm using the barcode detector. And I believe this is version 3. You see it's a polyfill, it's minified. That's what I'm doing there. And we're going to do a try. So window barcode detector. My God, I can't spell. Detector. There we go. Dot get supported formats. So the reason I'm doing this is because sometimes what web browser manufacturers do is they will actually have a feature, but it's enabled, but it actually doesn't work. So that's why I'm doing this, to make sure that I'm able to get the supported formats. If I'm not, and I know it doesn't actually work, then that way I can go ahead with my polyfill. So again, I will just copy this so I don't make spelling mistakes. So copy this here, just in case I made a spelling mistake. There we go. So what I will do then is I will set the window barcode detector. It will be set to this polyfill. So this way, if, for example, on a desktop where we don't have, we need the polyfill, so this is obviously going to fail, and then this part will work. Okay, then what I do is I call the decode function. Oops. I call the decode function. Now, so that's that function. Now, to start all this, it's very simple. All I do is I check to see if, maybe there's space here, barcode detector. Oh, can I wrap this with a single quote? Yes, it does. Perfect. That's one thing I like about NetBeans. That's actually pretty good. So you say in window. This is basically the same thing as this. So if it's not in the window, so what I do is I call that function just made, the LMD function. Else what I do is I just call the decode function. Okay, why is this giving me a problem? Oh, put this in the wrong place. There we go. So we are finished, and we can actually start testing our function here. So I'm gonna open up a web browser again. Here we go. I think it's 192. HTTPS. I think that's just it. It's an index file, if I'm correct. What did I call the file? Oh, index.html. Did I hit save? Yes, let me just check to make sure my PHP, the source code is, yeah, it should be there. Why is that not coming up? Okay, I'll put a slash index.html. Okay, there we go. And you can see that the ones I wanted to detect are Aztec and QR code only. So that's fine. Oh, I forgot to I think I confused you guys. So let me explain what my code does here. So if you notice, I only chose these two formats, Aztec and QR code, right? So what my function here does is it makes sure that it's included in the formats. So so that's why if it's included in the formats, I use this kep array, I push it in there. So that's why these two are supported. So if you want to support a weird one, you just put it in here, and this way this is like a double check to make sure this actually is supported. If it's not, let's say I put some weird one here and that's not supported, then it would be the only ones that supported, for example, these two would be show up there. So that's what this code does. Sorry, I didn't explain that. Okay, so here I'm gonna switch this on, and I'll hit allow. So as you can see here, it says Aztec, QR code. Those are the only ones that are supported. So what I'm going to do is, because I Strange enough, I only did some I have a receipt here from a place called NoFrill, so I'm going to see if it will detect it. And you see, I'll put it up here. You should see it. Hopefully it detects it. I'm sure that's a QR code. Okay, let's see. Maybe I made a mistake. Let's do some inspection here. Oh yeah, there's an error. It says promise constructual one not be invoked in. What line number is that? It says on line 49 of, is it 49 or 36? So let's see here. 49, so 36 is fine. 49. Let me just make sure. I think that's fine. Format 49. Let barcode detector. Let me just refresh again. Oh, without new. So I think yeah, this should be new. Okay, let's refresh that. Okay, there we go. So it should be, you should have the word new there. Okay, I'll try again. It's not detecting that one. Okay, let's see why that's not being detected. There's no console errors. Okay, let me try another one. I'm gonna try the Aztec one. Oh, now I can't see it. Huh. That's weird. Let me try the barcode one. Actually, let me do a quick comparison, see what the difference is. So compare this to the... I'm gonna use meld. Oh no, I'll use my script. This will be compare left. Go down here and compare. Compare right. Okay, I do not see a try catch, everything is fine. It might be because I didn't put enough formats, so I'm gonna put more formats. Maybe that's a problem. It could be, maybe those are not pure QR codes. I'm gonna try some extra formats here to see if that fixes the issue. So go back to the code here. Okay, let's see. Okay, see there's more formats now. So I'll try that again. And focus. Of course now the sun went down, so nothing is focusing. Just inspect here. Oh, here we go. It says reference BS is not it's not defined on line 56. See, 66, 67. Okay, there we go. So 66, 67. BS. Oh, there we go. So it was working. It's just, okay, there we go. Now it should work. Let's clear this. Do a hard refresh. I'll get again with the no frills. Okay, no, that didn't work. I'll try this one. Okay, there we go. See, it found that one, and so you see here, it found it. It found that it has the CA blah 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 stuff in here, and you see it has all these numbers. So let me actually go to inspect because I put it on the console. I'll explain to you. Here's the object. So if you see here, first we have the bounding box. I don't know if I can zoom in here. Okay, there we go. So first we have the bounding box, and it has a whole bunch like XY component coordinates, and then we have the corner points. We use this in the future, and then the format is a data matrix. Oh, that's why. So this is a data matrix. You see it says here it's a data matrix. I think somewhere here also a data matrix. So it wasn't, I thought it was a QR code, but it's actually a data matrix. So it looks like it's a tweaked of the usual QR code. And this is the raw value. So this is how you can parse it. So let me actually try that. I'm 100% sure this one is a QR code. Yeah, come on, focus. I don't know if I have another one. Let me try a barcode. Let's try a barcode then. Maybe a barcode will be easier. The barcode should work. There we go. So you see that's a barcode, and the format is a code 128. You see here, so it does work. I don't know if I have another one to show you. Oh, here's one. This one I'm 100% sure should work. Oops, if I can get it up there. This is actually from Walmart. See, there we go. You see, it found it. That's a QR code. It says QR code here. So I guess the problem was I just made few spelling mistakes. And yeah, see, that one is a QR code, and it says QR code here. And you see that one is actually a URL. It goes to this place here. So basically, one of the good things about the barcode reader is you can get a whole bunch of information. What you look for is the raw value here. And then you can determine, for example, if it's a QR code, and this one is a URL. So then what you can do is you can open up a URL. If it's like something else, so which we'll do in a future tutorial as well, is you can also get the country of origin of the manufacturer. That doesn't mean that's where the product was made, but it's a good indicator of where the product might have been made. So we'll do that in a future tutorial. So that's we can end the. So that's how you can get the barcode decoder using the web browser. And I showed you, for example, if this is not supported on the desktop here, you can use a polyfill, and the polyfill works extremely well. Okay, so now I know you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, didn't you create those? You created this. You created this QR codes, right? Yes, I did create those. I have them on my phone, so I'm gonna see if I can remember how to pull up the file manager on the phone. I think I put file. Yeah, my files. And here we go. So I have a whole bunch of them I created. I'm gonna show you. For example, this one goes to a jumbo.com URL. It's gonna open up here. Here we go. So I'm gonna now go back to. I'll show you. This one is ojambo.com. I put on my phone. Hopefully, it will be detected. Yeah, you see that? It's raw value. It's HTTPS or ojambo.com. So you see this is an HTTPS one. So now I know what you're thinking. What about this address one? Well, I don't know if I have the address one on the phone because this was just for QR codes. But it should detect it as well, and it will in the future tutorial when so we'll continue this barcode detection in the future as well. So there we go. So it does work. They just tested it, and obviously you can do the same thing on the phone. The phone will be easier because it won't use a polyfill. The code does work. So be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. And as I said, I do create a live stream every day. You simply go to watch live, and you can see the current one in process right now, and then the future ones with the estimated time when they'll begin, and obviously the channel. And each of them, right at the top, I do have a little code snippet here telling you, so you can actually click and just go right to the video, or you can watch it. You can scroll down, for example, here on YouTube. You scroll down, you can click here, and you can watch it. You can watch it live if you don't want to sign into YouTube to ask questions. Okay, so another thing I want to let you know is that this is the everything I used here is open source. For example, this lib encode library. It's this is a license. It's LGPL, LGPL, yes. And then the Sterno one, that's just a GPL. Both of these are copyleft licenses, so that means they do allow obviously commercial use, modification, distribution. Just consult the license for specific details. Obviously, also is PHP. That's for the web server. They're all open source. And again, that one is that's a more permissive. So basically, just to summarize this, the Barcode Detection API is browser native and is designed to detect barcodes using the device camera or video input. It supports 13 barcode formats, including the most popular QR codes. A polyfill can be used for web browsers that lack native support. For example, in this one on the desktop, I had to use the polyfill because I'm on Linux and I'm using a Chromium-based browser, and they do not have built-in support, native support. If you do enjoy this article, consider supporting me. You can purchase my WordPress plugins at ojambo.com. You can enroll in my programming courses at ojamboshop.com. Buying my programming books on Amazon, search for Edward Ojambo, links in the description. You can hire me for your programming and app development needs at ojamboservices.com. Or even better, you can become a donor at ojambo.com/donate. So the donate button is up here. I see a specific icon for you. So that's it. I will